All right, man, peace. So now we're going to see Denzel Washington. He's going to approach the first woman that he's dealing with, played by Spike Lee's sister. Once again, pay very close attention to the tone of their interaction. Pay very close attention to the spirit that's on this female, how she conducts herself towards him, which compels him to conduct himself towards her in a certain way. That's of a much higher caliber, a much higher level of respect than the other female, Clark.
Black Queen, I mean, my slice of pie, the apple of my eye, my chicken thigh, extra spicy, ham, spam, eggs and bacon, chicken and waffle, Wilson. How you doing, baby? You looking good to me.
What happened, you bleep?
What happened to me?
You had me waiting out here for 20 years.
20? Oh, my watch must be going slow. It says 15 years, but I get it fixed. So how you the baby? We should have been down the club. We was kicking butt. I mean, you should have been there.
Good, I'm glad it went well.
Well, I wish you were there.
Now, you see what happened? Now, he showed up late. I guess he's supposed to have a meeting with his lady. He showed up very, very late. She was upset, but she didn't flip on him. She didn't come out of her mouth and get disrespectful. She understood that he was at the club doing what he loved to do. She does not spend her time trying to take away from what he loves to do. She just waited patiently. Of course, she was upset because he was late. And you notice his response was far less dismissive than the responses that he's giving to his other female, Clark.
Yeah, you know how I feel about clubs.
Oh, how do you feel about clubs? Let me ask you that.
You know, all that smoke.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'd rather sit at home and listen to records. I mean, bother all them people. It's not my thing.
Hey, you heard what she said? She said she doesn't like clubs. She doesn't like all those people, all that smoke. She'd rather sit at home and listen to his records. You know what that spells out? That spells out a main female, or quote unquote wife material. You know, a lot of these guys, man, they funny as hell. You know, wherever you meet somebody is what's going to establish their caliber of person. You meet somebody in a club or bar, then that's where they're going to go back to after they get bored with you. You can't really take people too seriously that call themselves a people person. So, because if they're a people person, that means that they are constantly trying to sample numerous people until they can't sample anymore. You know, the person that you settle down with in life or that you should take seriously is not always going to be the glen. Look, man, I say this all the time. All dimes is for, excuse my language, all a dime is for a steady fucking. That's all they for. Okay? The woman that you should take seriously is number one concerned with bringing happiness into your life. And she ain't going to be no drop dead, unbelievable 10 out of 10. But she going to hold you down, and she's not going to be all up out in the damn street. Only thing out in the street are rats, hood rats and sewer rats. That's it. All these broads, they got to go to every party and go to this club and that lounge. All they for is ejaculation purposes. That's it. So she made a certain statement that I'm sure resonated in the character of Bleak's mind, that once again, he knows what to expect from her. Which is a sentiment that you should always have an understanding of when you're dealing with a woman. You should always feel like you know what to expect from her. If you're dealing with a female, you don't know what to expect from her. That's definitely an agent of chaos.
What are you talking about?
I mean, what am I talking about?
No, not what are you talking about. What are you saying?
What am I saying?
What are you
Okay,
really
be
saying?
specific.
Yeah.
What am I saying? I'm saying that I love your music, but I don't like sitting up in some club.
That's
all
all
I'm
you're
saying.
saying?
That's all I'm saying.
You're not saying.
That's good. That means she's a lady.
You're not saying that you're upset because I'm late or something like that?
No, I'm not saying that.
No.
Or at least has ladylike attributes. Let me not jump to no damn conclusions.
I'm saying that. There's something different.
I see.
Okay?
Well,
That's
shall we
all
go
I'm saying.
upstairs? Would you like to talk about it upstairs?
We might could.
We might could. Oh.
Come on now. I'm not gonna wait anymore.
We might could. You know, I used to coulda, woulda, shoulda, woulda, woulda. Oh, it sounds like a good song.
What would you do, Blake, if you couldn't play anymore?
Probably roll up in the corner and die. I'd play at my own funeral.
Now, did you see what she asked him? She asked him, what would you do if you could not play the trumpet anymore? Because she could sense the same thing that his other woman, Clark, could sense, which is that his one true love is that trumpet and music. But she did it in a much more constructive manner. Notice that Clark is a user. She just wants to see what she can get out of Bleak. So not only is she trying to usurp the role that music plays in his life, if she cannot get him to willingly give it up and make her the number one in his life over music, she's going to try to destroy it by biting his lip. This female here is much more constructive in the way that she asked him. But she came to the same conclusion, because the love that she has for him is much more healthy than the love that the character of Clark has. I mean, look, man, life, I always say this, man, life ain't that complex. It's pretty simple. You can tell for the most part who actually cares about you. You can tell who has your best interests at heart. You can tell who actually wants to see you happy. There are very, very few people in life that are concerned with the happiness of others. Most people are pretty self-centered. But if the Lord does bring someone into your life that actually is concerned with your happiness and can appreciate you as a person, then you have to reciprocate. So that's the issue that Bleak, or his character, has right now, that Denzel Washington's character Bleak has right now, is being able to come to terms with the fact that even though he has more than one woman and he likes having more than one woman, only one of them cares about him. So that's why I wanted to do this video, because once again, brother, just because you can have more than one woman doesn't mean that you should. Some of these females out here, not just females, but people, period, number of black holes. They want to see what they can suck out of you and then move on to the next. So I thought that this film did a very, very good job of illustrating the difference between who you should have in your life and who you shouldn't, and why. Let's see what else they have to say here in this scene.
I want to bite your neck. No! The other side. No! The other side. The middle. The lips. Yes. The lips. There's more blood in the lips. Don't be...
Well, hey, you can see that their interactions are much more loving than with the other woman. Denzel did a good job acting in this movie, though, because I'm sorry, this woman looked too much like her brother. All right, so now we're back with Denzel's character Bleak and his concubine Clark, or quote unquote other lady. Let's see the energy between them in regards to how they interact with each other. Once again, the energy that you put forth is going to determine the type of energy that you receive.
Roll over.
Yes, baby.
No, the other way.
Oh. Oh, baby.
That was a good one.
Damn, that hurt.
Be still.
All right. Be careful. How your singing lessons coming along?
Good. I think I'm ready.
You think you're ready?
Ready to accompany the band for a song at the dock.
You see, that's really the only reason why she's with him. She's with him because she wants to use him as a stepping stone to get her own music career going. Once again, brothers, man, it takes a long time, and I always say this on this channel, it takes a long time to get to know a broad, man. Whatever broad you with, she has to be with you through thick and thin. You have to see how she conducts herself in times of adversity. If she's more concerned about your happiness or what you can give to her, there are many different reasons why people establish relationships, particularly in this day and age. You know, some people establish relationships with somebody else because they're lonely, sometimes because they're broke. Very, very, very few people are magnanimous enough to even know how to love, which is just really about loyalty and sacrifice. If people don't have those two character traits, they're not going to be able to love properly. And that's why relationships in this society are so tenuous. So you see Denzel's character, look at his eye, he giving her the side eye. because he sees where her motivation is. Many of these females have an end game when they deal with you. You have to figure out what that is. It doesn't mean that you have to be overly paranoid, but take your time and wait. And once again, just because you can have more than one woman does not mean that you should. A lot of these females are more trouble than they're worth. Well, let's see what Bleak has to say.
You think I'm not ready?
No, he think your ass can't sing.
Wait, look, baby, just because we've seen each other, that's got nothing to do with the music now. I think you got potential, but it takes years, not months.
Thanks for nothing.
In other words, he's like, look, just because you can get on my microphone don't mean you can get on the microphone at the club.
Come on, I'm not trying to be cruel. If we were married, I'd say the same thing.
Look,
Ow.
I'm not asking you or anybody else for any handouts.
Yes, you are. That's the main reason why you with him. It's for what you can get from him. And look, man, look, brothers, that's not a crime, all right? That's not a crime. In this society, they put the woman so much on a pedestal. People have given females a lot of these silly expectations. The woman in general is going to gravitate towards power and who can provide. Stop taking them seriously on an emotional level. That will allow your mind to remain clear for more astute observations and evaluations. Stop looking for loyalty from the female. The woman that's not really something that is intrinsic in their nature or in their DNA. That's why the Lord had to give them the maternal DNA, because it's not natural for them to be loyal or faithful or, people who are durable in adverse situations. That's just not them. Now, are there exceptions to the rule? Absolutely. But it's not a common trait in the woman. So stop expecting that. You should expect for a woman to try to get with people based off of what they can provide for her. Love is something that people can learn to do. Always remember that. People can learn to love. So all this nonsense about love at first sight, and that's why the people who have the highest divorce rates are the ones who have these wild initial meetings in regards to how they got together in the first place. Oh, we fell so madly in love, and then you see they end up parting as quickly as they came together. In stable relationship systems, the woman can learn how to love. As long as she becomes accustomed to the person who's providing her with certain substances or certain resources, she can learn how to love that person. I mean, the shit really ain't that complex.
Everybody needs a break. I thought you might be the person. Shoot me, I was wrong.
Yeah, everybody need a break. He about to break you off some dick.
Pop your own bumps. You know, a lot of people say I'm a good singer.
Good, go sing with them.
Forget you. I believe in myself.
You're supposed to believe in yourself, babe.
Shadow says I can sing.
Oh, Shadow says I can sing. What else does Shadow say?
Shadow is a character in the film played by Wesley Snipes, one of Denzel Washington's bandmates. Once again, this is something else that the lower level woman will often try to do, try to provoke jealousy. This is why, once again, I juxtapose his interactions with the first woman, played by Spike Lee's sister, as opposed to this female. Because the woman will tell you right off the bat whether she's quote-unquote wife material or concubine material. The concubine, once again, will try to denigrate the masculine principle. She'll try to question the man's masculinity. She'll try to provoke jealousy. You see the look that she's giving him? Because she knew that the statement that she made was meant to provoke, to bring forth negative energy. See, if you're Denzel Washington's character right now, and I'm sure he's thinking in his mind, is this female worth the nonsense? Because really all she's bringing me is vagina. It's like a sports car, you know? You get a nice looking sports car, you drive it real fast, you total it. You miss it, but it really wasn't bringing much to your spirit anyway. That's what it's like to have. I mean, it's just eye candy. All right, now once again, Bleak, Denzel's character, is in the middle of writing some of his music. Let's see what the character of Clark tries to do once again.
What? 13 sharp 11. No, that's not right. E9.
Does it tickle?
Yeah. That's not right.
Let me leave the artist at work alone. The muse is visiting and Bleak is truly inspired. Then he will share his muse, latest gift to the world. Hallelujah.
All that shit that she's doing was just an attempt to once again try to check to see what her station was in regards to how he viewed her in conjunction with his music. She wants to usurp music as his number one priority, even though she needs him to stay in music so that she can get to where she wants to go. Once again, it's all a game for her because once she gets on as a singer, she's going to leave him anyway. That's assuming that she's able to get to a level where she doesn't need him anymore. So it's all a big game for her, but he does not take her anywhere near as seriously as he takes the first woman. Once again, the difference between a wife and a concubine. You never ever let the concubine distract you from what you... Hell, you don't let the wife distract you from what you need to get done. Because if you let the woman, period, distract you from what you're doing, the only thing that they're going to do is point the blame at you anyway. That's what they're going to do, and justifiably so, because the woman in her mind knows that she's a child. But once again, notice the difference between how the first female conducts herself with Denzel in regards to the respect for his masculinity, the respect for his music and his creations, as opposed to how this female does. They'll let you know how you should treat them. All right, so now this is a very humorous and interesting scene. It's a situation that hopefully brothers never get caught up in. Denzel, as we know, or his character, has two women. He did something that he really should not have done, and I would advise brothers to never do it. He has two women. He bought the same dress for both women, assuming that they would never see each other wearing the same dress at the same time. Of course, they both come to the club to see him, unbeknownst to him or either one of each other, wearing the same dress. So let's see what ensues here and how he handles it.
Walked to the doctor's office just stuttering. Doc, got to help me. My wife said she's gonna leave me. Stop stuttering like I do. I said, damn, I can barely stand and hear you talk myself. So won't you go to...
Spike Lee's character plays Denzel's childhood friend, by the way.
Won't you go to the examination room, pull up a clothes, and let me see what's wrong with you. Doctor, what is the examination room behind the guy? Looks between his legs. My God. No wonder you can't talk. All that putting on your vocal cord. So put some of that on the table and chop it off the table. He put it on the table, Doc went, pack. It's just speak. Thank you, Doctor.
He knows right away there's a code red. He got to go warn his homeboy.
What's up?
Nico and Clark just walked into the club.
Yeah. All right, bet.
Remember that bet?
What bet?
We in Paris, I urged you not to buy in the same dress. I urged you.
Yeah.
But you're trying to rush for the plane. You said it was a million in one shot. They wear the same dress and the same day and see each other. Want to bet again? You owe me $50. 50.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good looking out, G, man. Good looking out.
That's what good managers are for.
Right.
We didn't even do it.
What? I'm gonna handle
This
it.
is a rough one.
No, I got
This
it.
is rough.
I got it.
This has been the roughest of the roughest.
What?
You know, really, what Denzel should have did was he should have told Spike to take one of them home. Say, look, just drop this one off at home and tell her, tell her that there's a delay in the show. I'm gonna check with her later. But he did his thing on this.
Watch me work.
I'll be watching. I'll watch this one.
Yeah. How you doing, waitress? Yeah, she's a nun. Won't give me none, ain't had none. Told me she didn't need none.
That's Robin Harris, a legendary comedian who passed away right around the time that this film came out.
What a pleasant surprise to see you here. I didn't expect to see you.
Big surprise.
Huh? What? How so?
Nigga, you know how so. You got both your bras in the same, in the same zone, man. Come on. Look, his main chick surprised him because she made a move that he did not expect. You're dealing with these females, always expect the unexpected. I don't care what type of character traits they have. Remember, the woman by nature is an agent of chaos, some more than others. She already laid the groundwork that she does not like the club scene, which makes her wife material. But she showed up. Why? Because, in the recesses of her mind, she anticipated the possibility of, catching his other broad there. Of course, that's not spoken, but come on, let's be for real. She's heard his music before. They've sat at her apartment and listened to his music. She came there glammed up. Why? Not just to surprise him. That was in her conscious mind. But in her subconscious mind, she came there to see what other hoes he was going to have at the spot. That's why I said what he should have did. As soon as Spike Lee's character came to him, he should have said, look, take Indigo. This is that character's name. Take her back to the crib and tell her that that there's an issue. A pipe burst downstairs or something. Shit. Take her ass home. Okay? Well, but then again, hell, the other chick, Clark, he shouldn't have invited her either. Why? No, that's another thing. But we'll get caught up with that as this scene progresses. Denzel's character made a few mistakes. One of the things that he did was he brought more than one of his women into the workspace and had them around the different men that are in his band, and that led to more confusion.
You nearly pissed in your pants when you saw me, especially since you invited Clark.
No, I didn't invite Clark anyway. Shadow invited. I'm just surprised. You always talk about how you don't want to come to the clubs. I was surprised to see you here.
Well, I had a sudden change of heart.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
But is she happy? Is she happy?
I'm sorry, what?
Is she happy? I like her dress, Bleak.
I love the way you sing.
She said, I like her dress. Now, once again, this character, played by Wesley Snipes, is the character of Shadow. He's extremely jealous of Denzel Washington's character because he's the leader of the band. He's also jealous of the fact that Denzel Washington's character has multiple women. Of course, that being this female right here, Clark, who is the eye candy. What Clark and Shadow both have in common is that they're both jealous of Denzel's character. They're jealous of the love that he has for his music and the fact that he won't put anything above his music, and therefore he will not allow them to shine above him, which is what they both have in common. And let me say this, somebody who may be just a concubine for you may be wife material for somebody else because they may have similar energy. Her character and the character of Shadow, they both have similar energy. They're both chaotic. They like to promote chaos. And they're both jealous people. So sometimes you have to let two people who have the same spirit, let them go be together. and see how much destruction they could bring in each other's lives. As I've already stated, what they both have in common is that they have an issue with Denzel's character Bleak because he will not allow them to conquer him. So that's where their alliance really got formed.
I mean, you could really sing, you know.
Now he gonna lie to the broad, tell her that she could really sing, knowing damn well she can't sing. But why is that? He trying to get in her drawers because he feels like it'll bring chaos into Denzel's life, which is his goal.
I'm starting my own band. Yeah. Shadow Henderson Quartet, featuring Miss Clark Benacourt.
See how he tried to cater to her ego? He knows her weakness. Hey, brothers, look, man, I've mentioned this on previous videos. Be very, very careful when you decide to bring your woman around other men. A lot of cats bring their woman around other men and act shocked and surprised when she ends up doing something with that other man. It's very, very, very few loyal people or people with any type of integrity or dignity. Okay? So, if you're trying to avoid wanton confusion, then there's certain things that you shouldn't do. You should not be that interested in bringing your woman around other men. And the woman that you're with should not be that interested in being around other men. She shouldn't be that interested in being around your friends. If a woman is overtly interested in meeting your friends and getting around, hanging around you and your friends, that shows you that she does not truly understand her place as a woman. All right, so. Now, Denzel's character knows that Wesley Snipes' character is jealous of him, but his attitude is, I'm the better man, and he can't take my woman from me, and even if he can, she would none but a concubine anyway.
How you doing, baby? You should watch the company you keep.
I could say the same for you.
But you won't.
You see how he speaks to her, as opposed to how he spoke to the first woman? He said, you should watch the company you keep. Far less respect, far less regard because of the energy that she put out towards him. That has affected the way that he views her and the rapport that he has with her. Brothers, that's part of a dysfunctional relationship. If a female does not know how to speak to you properly, you're not going to know how to speak back to her properly. That's going to lead to arguments. That's going to lead to domestic disputes and all other type of silly shit that you can avoid once you notice the way of that woman and jettison her ass, man. Don't play with these bitches, man. Because they want to get into that back and forth silly shit. If she's not mature enough to know how to converse properly, it's not your job to teach her. Send her on her way. Okay? It's not your job to train a dog. You send your dog to a dog trainer, your dog come back already trained. It's not your job to train these broads, man. They don't know how to be trained properly, send their ass on their fucking way.
What are you thinking about?
Right now?
Yeah.
Thinking about you. You talking about her? She came in on her own accord. There's nothing I can do about that. It's a free country. What you want me to do? You want to ask her to leave?
Yeah, send her home.
Send her home? Come on, baby. I can't do that. What am I going to walk over there and say, look, the point is this. I asked you to come. You're here. You're the one I'm leaving. That's what counts, okay? Okay?
I like her dress.
Enjoy the set.
She rolled her eyes like 5 million ways. Once again, just pay attention to the difference in how he spoke to her as opposed to how he spoke to the first woman. Far less regard and respect because of the fact that he knows what her station is. And intrinsically, he knows that she's not going to last very long. All right, now, so in the aftermath of that scene in which he was able to negotiate his way out of it using diplomatic skills, or what cats call player skills, of course, now Spike Lee has very adroitly framed a dual lovemaking scene where he's making love to both the women at the same time. Just watch the confusion that can ensue.
Get off! What did you call me?
I called you your name.
The hell you did? I ain't deaf, motherfucker. You called me Indigo. What?
No, come on, I didn't call you Indigo. I called you a name. Come on.
No, you didn't, motherfucker. You called me Indigo. I can't even believe you would have the audacity to call me by your other woman's name.
Well, look.
And I ain't no fool. I do know you have another woman.
Wait, look.
I ain't going for this shit.
Hey, what is your name?
Get off, Bleak. Bleak, how in the hell can you call me by her name? I am in your bed, Bleak. Indigo, not Clark. I'm Clark, not Indigo.
I called you Clark.
You can practice for 8 hours straight and can't spend the little bit of time it takes to learn the difference between me and your other woman.
Now, you see, the first thing that came out of her mouth was, once again, going back to how much she practices the trumpet. Why? Because she's jealous of the fact that the trumpet is his true love. Brothers, let me say this, man. If you one of them dudes that got 3, 4, 5 females that all think that they're your woman, don't get caught up in telling and yelling out their name in intimate situations, man. Just use basic colloquialisms like baby or something like that, man. Because shit like this really happens and it's crazy. Just watch what happens here.
Woman, listen to me, Bleak. I don't like it, I don't appreciate it, and I don't want to be disrespected by you. I've had it.
Now, how could he be disrespecting you when you already knew that he had more than one woman? Start of the movie, you call him a dog, meaning that you know that he has more than one woman. He's very honest about that. Brothers, look, when you have more than one woman, if that's what you choose to do, once again, every woman is a headache. The woman will act like she's aware of the fact that you're being honest with her. But remember, the woman by nature, being an agent of chaos, likes to very conveniently forget certain things so that she can make herself out to be the victim or the injured party in the dynamic between you and her.
And you say that you love me, Bleak?
No, I never said that.
Yeah, you did say that.
Well, I don't remember.
Do you remember saying you care?
Yeah, I remember that.
If you say you care, then why in the fuck are you still fucking Indigo?
Because he cares about her too. He cares about your pussy and her pussy.
Go. And don't give me that it's a dick thing shit either.
Well, it's not just really a dick thing. It's more of a bust a nut thing.
And don't give me that it's a dick thing shit either, Bleak. Look at me. Look at me, Bleak. What are you looking at?
Oh, that was well done by Spike and Denzel. Brothers, once again, every woman you have is a headache, man. So you have to be prepared. If you're one of these cats that want to have more than one woman, you have to be ready to deal with that. Okay? They'll act like they're, copacetic with the arrangement if everything is honest, but certain flare-ups can occur. So you have to decide if it's worth all that. We're living in a society right now that promotes confusion. So, and then also, man, the less people that you involve in your life in regards to your relationships, the better. So many people have good relationships that end because they involved outside parties, whether it be their so-called friends or even other family members. If everything is going well between you and your woman or women, plural, whatever, try to make sure that you keep as many other people out of that dynamic as possible. Because most people do not like to see happiness if they're not experiencing it as well.
Why can't you look at me? That's where the real me is. You know, Bleak, you always avoid direct eye contact. You know that? Are you afraid of something? Are you afraid that I might see the real you? Huh?
No, he's tired of all that bitching and complaining.
You? Huh? Answer me. Come on, answer me. Think about that. Are you thinking, Bleak? Are you thinking? You don't know what to say, do you? There you go. You can't face me, can you? Whenever you get in a jam, you grab your trumpet.
Look, let's cut the bullshit, all right? If you can hang, fine. If you can't, let's not pretend anymore.
Fine. Let's not pretend anymore. I can't hang.
You see how Spike Lee very skillfully had Bleak grab for his trumpet? Why? Because once again, that is his first love. Now, in a society where it's the culture for women to be raised to want to see the man happy, then both women would just have been with the man. So many relationships dissolve over jealousies based off of the quote-unquote monogamy paradigm that is pushed in Western/European cultures for population control. That's why you have 60-70% of people that are quote-unquote unwed or single, or you have women having children by various men now. It's all because of the monogamy relationship paradigm. And that's also why so many people are unhappy, particularly women. This is why also there is such a proliferation of antidepressant medication. All because of the fact that people have been told to disregard order in regards to the relationship structure, and that the woman should go for hers. Delima, do what thou wilt. Once again, another Spike Lee film. I don't know why it's skipping my mind right now, the name of that film, with Nola Darling. She's Gotta Have It. Pardon me. All right, that's what that film is all about. And please note that she was far more dysfunctional. Her character and the men involved far more dysfunctional than this character of Bleak. He just has to come to terms with the fact that he has to cut off the concubine because she's being too destructive. All right, so now this last scene is also going to typify the difference between a wife and a concubine. Now, he's broken up with both of them. Watch what the wife is doing.
This is Indigo. I'm unable to come to the phone right now. Please leave a message and I'll get right back to you.
Hello, Indigo. It's me. It's me. Look, I was just calling to see how you doing. I miss you. Look, yeah, call me if and when you feel like it. Later.
Now, this is what the concubine is doing. She getting boned by Shadow.
Hi, this is Clark. I'm busy right now, but I do appreciate the call. Please leave a message after the beep. Ciao.
This is me, Blake. How you doing? Listen, Shadow said.
This once again illustrates what I was speaking about earlier in regards to a certain brother who was telling me about how he had a wife and another woman and he can't control the other woman. Brother, in this society, just be happy if you have a wife, a woman. When I say a wife, I'm not talking about contractual obligation. I'm talking about a woman who actually cares about you and loves you and is concerned with your happiness. Be happy if you have a wife that actually is not running around the street or doing wild, crazy things. You can't be worried about what the other woman is doing. Because most of these females are mentally fractured. They're looking to see what they can get out of someone. And you'll be able to tell the difference right away, because the first thing that a concubine is going to do, she's going to jump into the bed with the next man. Meanwhile, the wife is sitting at home trying to occupy herself with other things while you're not around. That's what a real relationship is about. As I already stated, all love is just loyalty and sacrifice. This character of Clark is unable to show any form of a sacrifice because she has no loyalty, and that's okay. That's all right. Everybody's not built that way. That's why I make these videos, so that brothers can recognize some of these traits and not get caught in the not get caught up in the bullshit. Now let's see what Wesley Snipes' character is going to say.
Shadow said no. Coming along real good with it.
I want to hear this.
I've seen you in a while. What you doing down at the club?
He's begging. Where's Blake?
I'm busy.
He only wants you when he wants you. I want to make you a full-time game.
I don't believe what a man says.
Well, in this particular instance, in this particular case, believe me.
Now you see what her character says? She said, I don't believe what a man says. That's, once again, that's liberal black female rhetoric. She don't believe what a man says, but you got your legs spread wide open for both Denzel's character and Wesley Snipes' character. Why? Because you must believe them to some degree, because you're trying to get them to put you on into the entertainment industry. Right? Now, Wesley Snipes' character wants to bone her, not just because she's attractive, but because that symbolically represents him conquering Bleak. That's what jealousy does. But anyway, the film culminates with Denzel Washington's character getting physically harmed while trying to protect Spike Lee. He loses his ability to play the trumpet, and he's forced to give up playing the trumpet and music as his one true love. And he goes to the woman who is the wife material, and of course they end up living happily ever after. All right? So peace.